Right now, we have a new caller. We have Armin Van Buuren has just showed up on the phone. Armin, are you there?
Talk about the
Yes,
squad.
I am.
Yeah. What's up? You're here with Liquid Todd, Ben Harvey, Mallory Lynn. How you doing today?
I'm in shock, man. I just woke up. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. So I was one of the last ones to hear the news because my phone was off because I was trying to get sleep.
Oh, wow. What time is it there?
It's morning here.
It's 10 in the morning.
It's
boy.
it's already midday. So and I woke up and my phone exploded. Like I think I've never seen so many messages from my management, from my whole team, and everybody. Obviously is in shock, and I'm really lost for words. I'm sitting here at the airport and I'm just staring, and I just can't believe. This is probably the saddest day that dance music has ever had. I'm lost for words. I mean. I knew him really well. He was I can't say he was a friend because it's not like we called each other every day, but obviously there was a lot of respect for each other, and we called each other regarding a remix he did for me, and I found how incredibly passionate he was and how talented he was. I mean, there's no doubt that was a big thing. And we met each other at multiple gigs, and there was always big hugs and big respect, mutually. And it's funny because I recently watched his documentary on Netflix, and I told everybody, including my mother, like, this is something you have to watch because this is like the big pitfall for everybody. And I was really in shock when I watched that documentary. Like, he was struggling, obviously, with several things that bothered him, and it's just painful to watch, but I think it's also a wake-up call for all DJs in the world to, stand up and see that this must never happen again. This is so incredibly tragic. And of course, I want to say that my thoughts go out to his family, his relatives, his close friends. I mean, I can't even imagine how the pain must be for his family at this point. So I think that's the most important thing that we should say today. I think the whole dance music community reaches out to his family and close friends. I mean, this is just horrible, and I'm lost for words in regards to that.
Armin, do you remember the last time you saw Avicii and what you said to him?
I think the last time I saw him was at a gig where we both played. And it was something like "Good luck" and "How are you?" I mean, he was very well protected by his management, so it was hard to get to him. And he changed his number at some point, so we lost contact after that.
We've heard other people say that too. I think Mike said the same thing.
Wow,
That's interesting. Did he ever mention to you? Because we talked to a few other DJs throughout the afternoon, Cascade, Steve Aoki, and a lot of them have mentioned that he always mentioned before he took the stage, he always said he was nervous. Did you ever experience that with him?
Well, I saw. What I found strange is that the couple of times that I shared the stage with him, when he was playing either after me or before me, that he was always on his laptop till the last possible second before going on stage, and that is a sign that you are still finishing stuff, and it he was always insecure about that, and it made me wonder, but I couldn't get that close to him. I mean, like I said, we knew each other, but it wasn't like we were texting each other every day. I have to be honest about that, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have a huge amount of respect for each other. And I just didn't know him that well, but I did know that he was struggling because we shared the same management in the U.S. So I knew, I knew of him, and I knew that he was struggling with several issues. And of course, I informed what was going to happen, and I was glad that he actually stopped touring because he looked really bad. If you looked at his face, everybody was worried about him, and other DJs that I spoke also expressed their concerns, like, hey, is he going to be okay? And recently, I saw pictures of him, and he was doing better. He looked like he was doing well. He was into photography and he was traveling the world, and it looked like he was having a good time. So that's why this news comes as a shock to me, because I thought that he made the right decision to stop touring for a while and focus on himself and making music. And I mean, like, again, I'm lost for words in that regard.
Yeah, his last Instagram post was from early April. It was in L.A., and it was a gorgeous shot of what I assumed to be his house, and it was an incredibly uplifting, positive message. So everyone seems to be incredibly surprised, and of course we don't know what happened. I'm interested by what you just said about he was on his laptop and to the last moment, and that seems somewhat normal to me, because having met a lot of you producers and DJs, you're all perfectionists.
Some more than others.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be what you're describing, and Tiesto earlier said that he's incredibly insecure. It seems like he almost took it to a different level.
Yeah, well, I guess every DJ, no matter how big or how small, deals with a certain amount of insecurities. I mean, in 2010, I myself went to a coach because I went through a very deep hole because I couldn't stand all the criticism anymore that I was reading online. And I know that the pressure can be huge, especially if you're a perfectionist. I mean, every artist is a perfectionist. We all a certain amount of insecurities. I mean, in 2010, I myself went to a coach because I went through a very deep hole because I couldn't stand all the criticism anymore that I was reading online. And I know that the pressure can be huge, especially if you're a perfectionist. I mean, every artist is a perfectionist. We all read everything that is being read or said about us. I mean, that is the truth. And
Yeah.
I had a hard time dealing with that. And I took 2 steps back, and I realized that, something my mom said to me. She said, you can only do as good as you can do. If you do your best, then that's the best you can do. If you can tell yourself, I worked hard on this DJ set, I worked hard on this production, I invested all my time and effort into it, then that is the best you can do. And Tim simply, I guess Tim couldn't deal with that in a way. He was just always insecure, and that's terrible if you're that insecure, and that you need alcohol to do a performance on stage. I mean, I guess everybody deals with it differently, and I'm just sad that Tim had such a hard time dealing with it. But let's not forget that we don't know the facts, right? So
Yes.
I don't want to speculate at this point. We don't know if that is the cause of his passing. I mean, I'm personally really curious what exactly happened there, because he, like I said, I think he was doing okay. So. It's all. I mean, obviously, we have to respect the wishes of the family and wait till if we ever get further news about what happened. And I mean, it sounds to me it's a pretty strange location where he was, and I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What was he doing in Oman? We're on the phone with Armin Van Buuren talking about his experiences with Avicii on BPM Liquid Tide here with Mallory Lynn and Ben Harvey. Did you ever? You said you played with him. What was it like playing with him anyway? Was he playful on stage, or was he very serious?
No, he was very playful. He seemed like he wasn't having a lot of stress. If you looked at him, he was always very like, hey, man, what's up? But you didn't get a deep conversation right before he went on stage. Then that showed me that, all his focus was on his set and what he wanted to play. And he had a very unique sound. Obviously, he was extremely talented, and he may be considered the Mozart of our time. The Mozart of electronic music. Looking back on all the great music that he left us, I mean, it's a blessing, I guess, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, yeah, he will be remembered for all the great tracks that he did. There's no doubt about it.
Wow. Armin Van Buuren, thank you so much for calling in, and thank you so much for your honesty, and good morning over there in Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love the picture you put
Thank
up
you
on
so
your.
much, guys.
Love the picture you put on your Twitter page. It's you and Avicii and Geronimo being interviewed. SiriusXM, one of our tents.
Wow. Armin.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, and I wish you guys a lot of strength with this. And it's a horrible day for dance music, and I hope we can remember and think about the positive things that Tim left for us. So, and I'd like to leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Armin.